KWEI, your dreams are mine now. Are you really ready for this? Ready to see your worst nightmare turn into a story you can't escape? Hit that like, subscribe, and brace yourself, cause your dream might just come to life right now. And if you want me to turn your nightmare into a full story, drop your dream in the comments or follow the instructions in the description to send it in. Alright, let's do this. The town of Bedfield had seen better days. Once it was alive, factories running full steam, streets buzzing with workers, bars filled with the laughter. Now, the factories shut down one by one. Fires, budget cuts, layoffs, whatever the reason, the result was the same. The town was fading away, turning its people into shadows of their former selves. So, when an invitation showed up in every mailbox promising a grand show at the local theater with cash prize, people finally had a reason to look forward to something. The tickets were free, and for a town that had lost everything, free was good enough. Some came hoping to be entertained, others hoping to win some money to turn their luck around.
Ray, you ready yet? We gotta be at the theater by 7.
Sam's voice echoed from the hallway.
Almost.
Ray called back clearly, not thrilled about it. He struggled with the top button of his shirt, sighing.
Damn shirt. You know, Mom, I really don't wanna go.
He muttered.
The union gave us these tickets for free, and it says here you could win anywhere from $100 to $1,000.
Sam held up the flyer as if trying to find their fate printed between the lines.
Are you actually believe that?
Ray scoffed, stepping into the hallway.
You remember Mr. Spence? His cousin won $250,000 in the lottery last year.
She said, excitement creeping into her voice, like she actually knew Mr. Spence's cousin personally. Ray just shook his head. He buttoned up his shirt, slipped on his shoes, the same ones he last wore at his father's funeral, and followed his mom outside. Bedfield's theater hadn't seen this many people in years. Looked like the whole town showed up for a shot at some easy cash. Sam and Ray pushed through the crowd at the entrance. There was a time when this place hosted real plays, actors, performances, the works. Now, it was mostly used for union meetings, self-help groups, and the town's anonymous support circles. Though in a town this small, nothing was ever really anonymous. The theater itself was falling apart. Cracked walls, faded red velvet seats, an air of something forgotten. But tonight felt different. People sat back together, whispering, laughing, placing their bets on the prize money. Excitement was in the air. Then the lights dimmed. The room hushed. One single spotlight hit the center of the stage. No music, no host, just silence. An uncomfortable kind of silence. Then, out of the darkness, a man stepped onto the stage, wearing a full-body protective suit. The crowd tensed. The plastic shimmered under the light, his glass mask reflecting back at them. This didn't feel like entertainment. It felt like a warning. He stood there, scanning the audience, then spoke.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight you're a part of history.
His voice was muffled, but clear enough to send a chill through the room.
Our country is under threat, and we must be prepared. Each and every one of you wants a better future for yourself, for your children. You want safety, prosperity, peace, but forces beyond our control seek to take that from you. We must stand together. We must defend our own.
The man turned his head toward the side of the stage. A quick nod, a signal.
Bring her out.
Two large men dressed in the same protective suits emerged from the shadows, dragging a woman between them. She looked awful, pale, disheveled. Her white dress was stained, her hair tangled. Scratches and bruises covered her face. The guards forced her to her knees. The man in the suit turned to face her, then back to the crowd.
This woman is a threat, a criminal, a monster. She was sent here by those who seek to destroy us. She tried to burn down our savings office. She is the reason our factory went up in flames. And now she stands before you, a warning of what happens when we let outsiders into our home.
The tension in the room shifted. People started whispering, murmuring. Then someone shouted,
She deserves it.
Another voice joined in. Then another. And just like that, the theater erupted. The crowd turned into a wave of voices, yelling, cursing, hurling insults. Ray's heart pounded.
Mom, I don't like this.
He barely whispered.
This doesn't feel right.
Sam swallowed hard.
I wasn't expecting this either, but maybe it's a part of the show. I think I've seen that girl before.
The voice came from behind.
Sorry, what?
Sam turning around.
The girl. I swear I've seen her somewhere.
The man hesitated for a moment. Then his eyes widened.
Wait, yeah. A few days ago, I was looking up missing person reports and I saw her face. She disappeared from a Darwin a week ago.
Ray clutched his mom's sleeve, trying to stay composed, but it was obvious. He was seconds away from breaking down.
Mom, can we go?
Sam was about to agree when her eyes caught movement near the exit. A man stood by the doors, grabbing a gun. He whispered something to another guest who had tried to leave. Then, without hesitation, he lifted the weapon and aimed it straight at the man's stomach. Sam's grip on Ray tightened.
Baby, hold my hand. I'll think of something.
The crowd was no longer whispering. They were shouting. Like a pack of hungry wolves, they fed off each other's fear and rage. The man in protective suit raised a hand.
Are we really going to let these outsiders destroy our country, our families?
No!
The crowd roared.
Will we turn a blind eye to their hands stained with our suffering?
No!
Should they be punished?
Yes!
The suit-wearing man smirked, then reached into his belt pouch. He pulled out a small metallic sphere about the size of an egg and twisted its top half. Click. A gray-green smoke began to seep out. It crawled toward the stage, toward the girl still kneeling there. The air shifted. The entire room was dead silent. The girl's hands trembled. She turned them over, staring at her own shaking fingers. Then she started crying.
Don't try to make us feel sorry for you.
Someone in the audience yelled.
You tried to take our future away from us.
The girl stammered, her voice shaking.
No, I don't.
You did. Another voice cut her off.
Because of you, I lost my job. I work at the factory for 12 years.
Her breathing grew erratic, her hands spasmed. She tried to speak. Instead, she screamed. Her body started fighting itself, muscles twitching, back arching unnaturally. Then, in one horrifying motion, she dug her nail into her own lips and pulled. A sound like leather tearing ripped through the room. A sickening plop followed. The front rows recoiled in shock as a dark, thick liquid splattered across the floor. Her lower face was gone. Now, with only an exposed jaw, she bit into her own arm like an animal, tearing at the flesh, splitting out chunks of herself onto the stage. Screams erupted.
Sweetheart, hide under the seats. Cover yourself with my coat.
Sam's voice was firm, but her hands were shaking. She grabbed her phone. No signal, no internet.
Damn it.
Yours not working either?
A woman next to her whispered.
No, I'll try texting my aunt. She broke her leg last week and couldn't make it here.
But there was no time. The girl on stage was losing control. Her limbs trembled violently, fingers twisting at odd angles. Then her body lurched forward. Snap! The sickening crunch echoed, a strangled scream, and then silence. Someone in the audience finally snapped. "This is insane!" A man jumped from his seat, bottling for the exit.
The show's not over yet, my friends.
The suited man on the stage grinned. The guest nearly made it to the door until he felt something press into his stomach. A gun.
Sit back down,
A masked guard ordered.
or I'll make sure the people in the back rows get a real good view through your gut.
Panic spread like wildfire. The same people who had cheered moments ago, now they wanted out. The suited man lifted his arm dramatically.
This is human nature. You were ready to strip a stranger of their life like it was all just a game. But when it's your survival at stake, now you call it madness.
His voice boomed with excitement.
You've been chosen. This town has been chosen. And you, my friends, will be the first to witness the power of our newest creation.
He spread his arms wide.
Let the show begin.
A hissing sound filled the air. From the ceiling, gray-green gas began pouring in, thick, heavy, wrapping around the audience like living tendrils. The crowd screamed. The exits were sealed. People clawed at the walls, at each other's fingernails snapping, bodies piling up at the doors. A few tried to escape through the ventilation shafts. Within 3 minutes, they were jumped with bodies, trapped in twisted unnatural angles. Sam gripped Ray's hand. He was choking, struggling for breath. His wide, tear-filled eyes looked past her. He wasn't seeing the theater anymore. He was seeing them. The shadows, creeping from the walls, whispering voices, promising pain. By midnight, Badfield Theater was a slaughterhouse. Those who didn't suffocate, they tore each other apart. By sunrise, there were no survivors. Government agents in full hazmat suits combed through the wreckage. Bodies were built into trucks. Buildings were set on fire. The official statement, a chemical leak, a radioactive accident. But people talked. They had seen black smoke rising in the night, twisting like hands reaching for the sky. Sam and Ray, their names never appeared on any casualty lists, but locals say If you stand at the edge of Bedfield at night, you might hear children's laughter from the abandoned school basement. They say there is a boy in a blood-stained shirt, and if you listen closely, he is whispering, "They'll come back. They'll always come back." Bedfield was erased from maps. Road sign redirect around it, but those who still dare to venture into the ruins, they speak of a theater where the seats move on their own, where at midnight the dust-covered sphere still sits on the stage, waiting, and sometimes, just sometimes, a strange fog seeps from the vents. The lights flicker on, like someone is getting ready for another show. Subscribe and write your dream in the comments, and the most like it will be in the next episode. Miro.